What if you could witness the rise and fall of empires, survive battles and plagues, all without aging a day? In the depths of medieval England, a young fisherman's ordinary day turns extraordinary. As he casts his line into the shimmering waters, an axe unexpectedly cleaves the air, striking him down. He lies motionless, the world fading away, but not for long. Within minutes, a radiant light envelops him, his wounds mend before the eyes of astonished onlookers, and he stands, whole, healed, immortal. As centuries unfold, he witnesses the tapestry of human history weaving around him. He survives wars, outlives monarchs, and escapes death time and again. From the Black Death to the dawn of the digital age, he walks through time untouched by its ravages. This enigmatic man, now living in our modern world, holds secrets of 1,000 years. A living testament to history's untold
Did you hear
tale.
about Amber Dawes? No? Well, let me tell you about her. In 1189, she was Lady Emily Grey, a noblewoman serving as a royal guard to the court of King Richard. One night while she was protecting the castle, she was visited by a personage of a man in royal robes and a crown. He offered her immortality in exchange for her services in protecting the world, and she willingly agreed. Now immortal, Amber was ready to protect the world. The Divine King told her that she would cease to age from this point on and would heal rapidly from normal wounds, and should she suffer any mortal wounds, she would teleport to the nearest woodland and respawn, fully healed and well again. He advised her to change her name to protect her identity each time this happened, should it occur. She could still have children if she wanted to.
England, 1189 AD. Emily, a young noblewoman, stood before her king. Her heart pounded, her breath caught in her throat. King Richard, the Lionheart himself, looked upon her with a grave expression. He had a task for her, a sacred duty. He spoke of an ancient power, a guardian spirit in need of a vessel. Emily, he declared, was chosen. Emily felt a chill run down her spine. Fear warred with a strange sense of purpose. This was madness. This was destiny. She was to become the vessel for this guardian, to protect England from unseen forces. Her life, her very being, would be forever changed. The weight of the world, it seemed, settled upon her slender shoulders. Yet, in her heart, a spark of excitement flickered. She would be England's shield, a silent protector against the shadows. Emily, though afraid, accepted her fate. Her life as she knew it was over. A new chapter shrouded in mystery and magic was about to begin. The transformation was swift, brutal. Emily writhed, her body racked with pain as the spirit merged with her essence. She felt her humanity fading, replaced by something ancient, powerful. When the pain subsided, she was no longer Emily. She was Sophie, reborn. Gone was the young noblewoman. Sophie was ageless, her beauty enhanced, her senses sharpened. Time, she realized, was now a river she could navigate. She was immortal. The king explained her purpose: to guard against threats unseen, to maintain balance. She was the protector, the Eternal Guardian. Her first mission was simple: observe, learn. She traveled across England, a silent observer to the unfolding drama of human life. She saw the Black Death ravage the land, witnessed the rise and fall of kings. Through it all, Sophie remained vigilant, a silent sentinel against the whispers of darkness. Centuries blurred. Sophie, ever watchful, saw England transform. The plague gave way to the Renaissance, the stench of death replaced by the scent of progress. She saw the birth of industry, the clang of the printing press music to her ears. Through it all, she adapted, her immortal life a tapestry woven into the fabric of history. She became a chameleon, shifting identities, a ghost in the ever-turning wheels of time. She was a scholar, a merchant, an artist. She learned, she loved, she lost. Yet, the sting of mortality was absent, a bittersweet truth of her existence. The world changed, but Sophie, the Guardian, remained. There were moments of darkness, of despair, times when the weight of her immortality threatened to crush her spirit. She saw the best and worst of humanity, the endless cycle of love and hate, creation and destruction. She yearned for peace, for an end to the constant vigilance. But her duty was her burden to bear, a timeless promise etched onto her soul. The year was 1745. Sophie, now living as a tavern owner named Eleanor, found herself questioning her purpose. Centuries of guardianship, of watching humanity's triumphs and follies, had taken their toll. Was her existence nothing more than a cosmic joke, a cruel game played by unseen forces? The Jacobite rising raged around her. She saw men fight and die for a cause, their lives fleeting sparks in the grand tapestry of time. What was the point of it all, this endless cycle of strife and struggle? Doubt gnawed at her, a cancer in her immortal soul. She considered abandoning her post, walking away from the endless watch. What if she simply vanished, disappeared into the anonymity of the world? But a deep-seated sense of duty held her back. She had made a promise, a vow to protect. Could she truly abandon that, even as her faith wavered? Eleanor vanished as quietly as she had appeared. Sophie, shedding another skin, embraced a new identity. Geraldine Killarney, a spirited Irish lass with a quick wit and a thirst for adventure. She needed to rediscover herself, to find meaning in the face of eternity. Ireland thrummed with a different energy, a raw, untamed spirit that resonated with Sophie's weary soul. She embraced the local folklore, the stories of fairies and fey creatures. She danced at crossroads, listened to the whispers of the wind, seeking answers in the ancient magic of the land. She wasn't seeking to escape her duty, not entirely. She needed to find a way to reconcile her immortal existence with the ever-changing world around her. Ireland, with its deep connection to myth and legend, offered her a path, a way to find meaning in the magic that pulsed beneath the surface of her own being. Years melted into decades. Geraldine, embraced by the warmth of the Irish people, found solace in unexpected places. The laughter of children, the camaraderie of shared stories, the simple pleasures of a life lived one day at a time. And then she met him, Liam O'Connell, a blacksmith with a heart as big as the forge he commanded. He was mortal, yes, but his spirit resonated with Geraldine's in a way no one else's ever had. She knew it was fleeting, this love, but she allowed herself to be swept away, to experience the joy and pain of a life tethered to the passage of time. Their love was a whirlwind of shared laughter, quiet moments by the fire, and a deep understanding that transcended words. He grounded her, reminded her of the beauty that still existed in the world. He made her forget for a time the burden of her immortality. And when he passed, his hand clasped tightly in hers, she grieved as she had never grieved before.
In the twilight of 1189, destiny forged an Eternal Guardian. This is the tale of Emily Grey, the immortal protector of the Ream. In a world where knights and mystics whispered secrets, Emily Grey stood as a noblewoman, sworn protector of the Ream by King Richard himself. One fateful night, as stars blazed overhead and her blade gleamed in the moonlight, a divine figure appeared. With a voice as deep as the forest, he offered her immortality in exchange for her eternal service as a guardian of the world. She accepted. As their hands clasped, a surge of timeless power flowed into Emily. From that moment she ceased to age, her wounds healed instantaneously, and if fatally struck, she would vanish only to reappear in the nearest woodland, reborn with a new identity. Her first test came unexpectedly in 1258. While innocently gathering berries, a deadly betrayal left her wounded, triggering her first resurrection as Sophie Ambrewster. Now, bearing a new name and an undying spirit, her adventures were far from over. With each rebirth, Emily, now Sophie, continued to navigate the shadows of history, ever the guardian, ever the
If you're
enigma.
fascinated by history but crave a sprinkle of magic, dive into the tale of Sophie Ambrewster, a woman who couldn't be killed. Born under the name Emily Grey in 1259, during the reign of King Henry III of England, Sophie had a secret. She wasn't just a typical medieval woman, she was an immortal, sworn to protect the realm from dark forces, but with such power came great risk. If discovered, accusations of witchcraft could lead to her death. As the Black Death ravaged Europe in 1348, Sophie, then known as Emily, used her enduring life to nurse the sick. Yet despite her efforts, she couldn't save them. Fearing exposure, she fled once more, living under the radar. Fast forward to 1558, her secret almost came undone when she was nearly beheaded. Miraculously, she resurrected in the woods, her head reattached, forcing her to adopt a new identity, Harriet Clinton. This marked her second rebirth. Under this new guise, Harriet continued her eternal journey, her tale weaving through the fabric of history, a silent guardian watching over humanity.
Through the mists of time, where legends intertwine with reality, emerges Harriet Clinton, the eternal sentinel of ages. Born in 1164 under the noble lineage of Lord and Lady Grey, Harriet's fate was forever altered in 1189. Consecrated by a divine entity, she was bestowed immortality to shield mankind. Her saga weaves through the fabric of history like a spectral thread. In the year 1258, a knife could not claim her spirit. She simply awoke amidst the dense woods, reborn as Sophie Ambrister, her wounds a mere memory. Centuries passed, and in 1558, though beheaded, Harriet rose again, head reattached, as the witch trials cast their dark shadow over England. Accused and burned at the stake, she emerged from the ashes, unscathed, her resolve hardened. Deciding to flee the turmoil, she embraced the identity of Davina Peters and sought refuge in the Scottish Highlands. In her self-imposed exile, Harriet, now Davina, contemplates her centuries of solitude, her eternal vigilance a testament to the undying spirit. If your name has changed as often as the seasons and your life spans centuries, you might just be Davina Peters. Born in the year 1164 as Emily Grey, daughter to the noble Lord and Lady Grey, her destiny was forever altered in 1189. Granted immortality and agelessness, she accepted the solemn duty to be the world's protector. Each mortal wound she suffers, she revives unscathed, with a new name to shield her identity. In 1258, a knife's cruel blade called her Sophie Ambrister. She thrived for 300 years until the axe's edge in 1558 decreed her Harriet Clinton. But only a century passed before flames of accusation rose against her, branding her a witch, yet not even fire could claim her. Reborn from the ashes, she now walks as Davina Peters, residing in the silent embrace of Scotland's misty shores. After 367 years of self-imposed exile, today, in 2024, Davina Peters, age 860, steps out from the shadows, ready to break her silence. The world must prepare, for Davina has stories.
I bet you didn't know that history could walk and talk right in front of you in a university classroom. Imagine learning about the Crusades from someone who was actually there. Stephen Marsh, known to his students as a brilliant yet mysteriously young-looking history professor, holds an extraordinary secret. Born in the medieval times, struck by an axe and bestowed with eternal life, Stephen has witnessed 9 centuries unfold. Imagine, witnessing the rise and fall of empires, the birth of nations, all from a first-hand perspective. One day, in a twist of academic intrigue, he posed a philosophical question to his class. Can a man live for 900 years without aging? The room buzzed with theories and skepticism, only for their jaws to drop as Stephen revealed his true identity. Initially, immortality seemed an endless adventure to Stephen. Centuries later, it became a tiresome burden. After countless attempts to end his life failed, a single gray hair sparked hope. He was aging. But as fate would have it, just as death seemed within reach, his age reversed, plunging him back into the cycle of endless life. As he shared his story, his students were left grappling with the philosophical depths of eternal life. Is it truly a gift, or is it perhaps the cruelest curse of all?
This is why you need to know about Davina Peters. Imagine a woman shrouded in mystery and legend, stepping into the light after 360 years. What secrets could she hold? Davina Peters, known to the world as the Immortal Guardian, steps out of the shadows and into the spotlight, her presence commanding the awe of thousands. For the first time in centuries, she speaks in public, her voice echoing across the gathered crowd as she announces her return to England. But as whispers of her immortality spread like wildfire, Davina faces a moment of truth. How could they possibly know her deepest secret? In a bold move that leaves the crowd gasping, she challenges an onlooker to prove her immortality. A gunshot rings out, and in an instant she vanishes, only to reappear unscathed in the nearby woods. Now known as Amber Dawes, she returns to the crowd, a living legend, their applause thunderous. Days later, Amber settles into her new life in England, embraced by a world forever changed by her revelation. What will this Immortal Guardian do next? Stay tuned as history unfolds with her every
You need to watch this if you struggle with feeling out of place in a world that's always changing. Meet Amber Dawes, an immortal guardian with centuries of stories etched into her soul, but none as captivating as what happened last month in London. While out shopping, a simple tap on the shoulder spins her timeless world. It's Freddie Coleman, a charming mortal, asking for a selfie, a concept Amber finds utterly baffling. But she smiles, and the flash captures more than just a photo, it sparks a connection. Fast forward to their first date, and oops! Amber accidentally reveals her immortal secret when she cuts off her finger, only to have it heal instantly. Freddie, ever so cool, just reminds her that her secret is already out, thanks to the internet, and to be more careful. Determined to keep up with her new world, Amber buys a phone, starts texting, and soon she's not just exchanging numbers, but sharing her life with Freddie. They talk, they laugh, they dream, and yes, despite her immortality, she whispers to him one starlit night that she can still have children. By 2025, they're married. By 2027, they welcome a little miracle named Taylor. Immortal Guardian, mortal man, and their child, proving that even in a life that stretches through ages, the most beautiful stories are those of love and family. I'm sure you've heard the news about people living extraordinary lives, but have you heard of Amber Coleman? She's not your usual mom. She's an immortal guardian, weaving through the fabric of time with her mortal family by her side. In the bustling year of 2035, Amber lives with Freddie, her high-flying bus pilot husband, and their wide-eyed daughter, Taylor. Every day, as the city spins around them, Amber tells tales of historical immortals to Taylor, sparking wonder with every word. But their ordinary, extraordinary life took a twist during a simple family outing. They bumped into Stephen Marsh, a university professor with a secret as old as the medieval times. Struck by an axe and cursed with immortality, Stephen carries a treasure trove of history. As they exchanged stories, Freddie's eyes widened with amazement, and little Taylor's mind buzzed with one question: how many more immortals are out there? Their encounter, filled with shared histories and fates intertwined, left them all marveling at the mysteries of life. So next time you're out, look closely, because the person next to you might just be an immortal, with stories that transcend time.